back to my channel, and if you are new here, it's great to have you. Today I'll be talking about our importance or the importance of data analyst, what we do as data analysts, and some of the tools we use for data. Now, why is data analysis important? One of the importance of data analysis is it enhances business growth, and it allows organization or businesses make decisions based on data. Their decisions are driven by data, not by guesswork. An example is, let's say for example, as an organization, I'm putting my money into an advert. After 6 months or after a month, I should be able to tell that, is this advert or whatever thing I put my money into, is it paying? Am I getting a return on my investment? If no, then I have to look elsewhere. So we don't just make decisions based on guesswork or I feel like in data analysis. Like they used to say, only a fool would argue when there is facts. So those data that, okay, let's say for example, I make a radio advert and 10 customer comes in now and tell me it's because of your adverts that I heard on radio or through your newsletter that I'm coming in, then I would know that I'm getting a return on my investment on that advert. So whenever I want to put money into an advert, what will I do? I'll make it better on my radio advert. But if I'm making an advert and I'm not getting a return on my investment, what should I do? Then I need to look elsewhere and not be putting money into what is not giving me a return, because every business wants to grow. Nobody wants to be stagnant. So that is one of the importance of data analysis. Now, what do we do as is we collect raw data or data. Then we process that data or we transform that data. We take it through a cleaning process. Then after we are done with that, we now visualize that data. This process is a very important process. Why? Is because if we make a mistake as analysts, it will affect the organization. Let's say for example, I'm working for an organization that wants to give discount to their customers as end of the year sales bonus. So I was asked to give 1% to customers that bought goods within the range of 1,000 to 10,000. Then from 10,000 to 50,000, I should give them 10%. Then above 50,000, I should give them 40%. Let's say as an analyst, instead of me giving a customer that buys a goods of 1,000 or 2,000, I'm now giving those people that are supposed to give 1%, now give them 10%. One thing is, the organization can go on with that decision, but there will be a debt. Why? Is because those people that bought goods that are below 50,000 would look like, we are getting something small and we are getting this kind of reward. Why? That is coming from the analyst and it should not be done. That is a very wrong process. Now to the key tools we use for data analysis. One of the tools or some of the tools we use for data analysis or to analyze data is Microsoft Excel. Why Microsoft Excel? Excel is a very large tool that we use for a lot of things. I always tell people, we should not just be acquiring knowledge, let's acquire a skill. So we learning Excel should be directed, they need to be directed toward the skill. And what is the skill? Data analysis. So whatever thing we are learning in our Excel is used to analyze data, because one of the advantages of Excel is we are able to enter data. We call those process data entry. We are able to clean data with Power Query, and we are able to perform gas calculation in Excel, and we are still able to perform visualization in Excel. So Excel is a very key tool or a very important tool we use for analysis. Another tool we use for analysis is our Power BI. The Power BI is a very big tool that we use for visualization, though some of their services are paid. But the free service like the Power BI desktop is a very important tool, a very big tool that we use to visualize data. Let's take note. We use it to visualize data. In this scenario, we don't use it to enter data. Our Excel is used to enter data, visualize data, clean data. Though the same process that we use to clean data in Excel is still the same process we are going to use in our Power BI. So it's very important for us to understand the key concept behind this And what is the concept? The concept is our data analysis knowledge, because everything we are doing is still directed towards analyzing data. Either we are a financial analyst, an investment analyst, we are still going to get data, which we call extraction. We are going to transform, which we call cleaning data, and we are going to visualize that data. That means creating a dashboard for that data. Another tool we use is our SQL. The SQL is an acronym for structured query language. We have a lot of tools that we use for SQL. For example, MySQL, Microsoft SQL, Progress SQL, and more. Which one is important? I don't know. One thing we have to know is everything are tools that we use to query our data. That's why we call them MySQL, Progress SQL, and the rest. They are all tools. We use it for SQL, and the SQL is directed towards analyzing data. Another tool we use is Python. I know some of us will have been hearing of Python. When we talk about Python, we're not talking about Snake. No. In this scenario, we are talking about a language, a tool that we use. Python is used a lot by a lot of people. Some people use it for web development. Some use it for data science and a lot of things. Though in data science we use R the most over Python. But Python is still important. That's why I say we have to understand the concept before learning the tool. When we understand the concept, learning the tool will be easy, because we are directing our knowledge towards, or the knowledge of the tools towards a skill. And what is our skill? Data analysis. Because we are still analyzing data, no matter analysis we are working. Whether you are an investment analyst, a financial analyst, a data analyst, and whatever analyst we call ourselves, we are still going to get data. That is extraction. We are going to transform that data. That is data cleaning. And we are going to visualize. We are going to create dashboard. But those two are now more efficient than others. For example, our Power BI allows us to create what we call Power BI mobile. That's okay. Let's say, for example, I'm presenting and I want my stakeholders or my co-workers to see what I'm showing on their mobile phone, so they can be able to see whatever they are doing. So I will have shared their visualization to them on their mobile, on their phone. According to everybody's screen size, it would show, and they will be seeing whatever thing I'm explaining on their screen. That is one thing we can do in Excel. But can I create visualization in Excel? Yes, I can. And I have a lot of dashboard I created with Excel. So if we say I'm working with Excel alone, it is normal. But if I want more, that means I have to go for a visualizing tool, that is Power BI. But because I say I want to work with Power BI, does not mean I will not clean data. I will clean it. We don't work with guesswork that I feel like data is clean. No, we have to check. And one of the issues I do see when we get to the visualization is I see a lot of people making this mistake of now jam-packing things. It is not done that way. We are telling a story. Data analysis is all about storytelling. If our storytelling is now getting too much or confusing again, then why do we need a data analyst in our organization? We should be able to be specific. Let's say I want to create or talk about their sales in the meeting. We should create a sales dashboard. Talk about their sales. Let's say, for example, the company started in January. Then we have January, the data for January, February, March, and April. I should be able to compare the growth of, let's say, for example, in January, what did they sell? What is their growth in the company? I should be able to tell more about sales. Let's say I want to talk about their expenses. I should be able to do that. I should not be jam-packing and putting, it is not done. We should work like professional. So in the next video, I'll be introducing us to Excel. Which is very important. I'll be ending the video here. So thanks for having you all. During the next video, I'll be talking about Excel. I call it Advanced Excel / Excel for data analysis. So the next video will be talking about how, or the introduction to Excel properly. We understanding how Excel works, the tabs, the sheets. Then after we now understand how the functions work in Excel and how to use functions, we can now move to Power Query. Then that is where we will now start, because the Power Query is a tool in data analysis. But the same way we have it in Excel, we have it in Power BI. So it's very important for us to understand the concept of Excel before we now move to Power Query, because it's a tool in Excel that we use to analyze data. It is very important. Thanks for having you once again.